Have you ever heard the term gamification? Gamification refers to taking a mundane task and then assigning some bonus, some power-up to encourage people to continue to do that same mundane, boring task. They call it gamification because it refers to what happens in a video game. You get to move to the next level, you get a new map, you get a new power-up, you get a new sword, you get a new shield. All of those things the gamers have to basically button mash themselves to death to get that next little skin that's exciting for them. So let's take that same principle and turn it into motivating your employees. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. Today's podcast is sponsored by Table Needs. And if you're looking for a game changer for your food truck business, look no further than Table Needs. It is the ultimate package, a killer point of sale system, QR code menu ordering, KDS, and automated sales tax. Plus, they offer business services like marketing and bookkeeping. They're not only just another vendor, they're a business partner. Check them out at tableneeds.com or find them on Facebook. Now, gamification is not something new. It's just a new term that they're applying because the modern workforce, so they go home and they play Fortnite, or they're playing Call of Duty, which is referred to as COD. They're playing different maps. They're getting the little power up so that their character is either more cool than somebody else's character, or they've got more benefits to help them win the game easier. So we take that as an employer and figure out how we can gamify the work so that people will want to do what's most important to us, and that is repeat those mundane tasks at a higher level of skill, helping them to get better, to get faster. But we're going to motivate them by giving them something, some type of little power up. Now, the easiest thing to do is to give them a bonus that's tied directly to some boring task they got to do. So let's think about a cashier that you're going to ask, would you please suggest to sell this particular product? So they can do it in a couple of ways. One would be when a guest orders, let's say, a sandwich, and what we want them to suggest to sell is French fry. You hear that all the time when you go to a fast food restaurant. Hey, would you like fries with that? If the cashier even cares to do the job properly. So you have a guest that walks up and says, hey, I want a hamburger. The cashier should automatically say with enthusiasm, would you like fries with that? And if they get real creative, they can go, would you like hot, delicious fries with that? Now, how we bonus them on that, how we gamify this for them so that they want to say it with the same enthusiasm I just had, is we attach a little bit of money to it. We attach a little bit of something that they want. It could be extra days off. It could be extra time off. It could be better shifts. It could be more uniforms. It could be money. It could be a free meal. It could be anything you want it to be that's within your budget to afford, but they have to have some motivation beyond making whatever your wage is for that particular hour. Because the hour is going to pass whether they wait on 100 people or they wait on one, and they still get the same amount of money. But if you give them a reason to say, hey, would you like fries with that? Hey, would you like a dessert with that? We have an awesome fudge brownie. You're going to love it. If you get them to say those things frequently enough, guess what happens? Your sales go up. Now, not everybody's going to accept the suggested sell. They're going to say, nope, I'm good with a burger. Nope, I don't need dessert. I'm watching my waist. And that's okay. When you play a video game, you don't always get the power up right away when you want it. You have to work for it. So you take that ordinary, mundane task of, hey, would you like a dessert with that today? And then you say, cashier, if you can sell a dessert, I will give you 25 cents for every dessert you sell. Now you're going, Bill, ain't nobody going to care about a quarter. And you're right. Most people don't care about a quarter. Now, I will chase a quarter across I-4 in the middle of lunch rush to pick up that quarter. I'm not going to give up a quarter just because it's a little hard to get to. But here's the thing. You take an employee that has opportunity to sell 60 desserts in an hour if they're able to take one order per minute. Now that dollar amount gets to be a little bit more exciting. And you're going, but how do I cover that? It's 25 cents per dessert. Increase your price 25 cents. Oh my goodness. You can do that? Yes, you can. The cashier chooses not to suggest a sell, and the guest just randomly orders one, you still make 25 extra cents, but you don't have to pay the bonus because the cashier did not suggest to sell. but they have a motivation to get a quarter every time they suggest to sell one. Many years ago, it was in the early 2000s, I worked at Burger King. They were running a special on a particular product they wanted us to sell. And they were going to bonus the stores based on the number of those units that they sold. Now, of course, that was at the store manager level. The store manager got to make a bonus, but it didn't trickle down to the people that were actually doing the work. So I decided that if I can get a bonus, I'm going to share that with the people that are the ones doing the work. So I told every employee, you want to make a little bit extra money, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take this product that Burger King wants us to sell. You're going to suggest to sell it. And every time you successfully sell one, I'm going to give you 25 cents out of my bonus. Because I don't get a bonus if you don't sell it. So now it becomes, I can make extra money. And again, you're thinking, Bill, it's 25 cents. Nobody cares. Well, somebody did care in my store. And I was very, very fortunate that one of my cashiers figured out that I can make some decent money. So she suggested sold that product to death. And during the time that I was able to run this promotion, she earned $250. Now that's a whole bunch of quarters. And she did it because all she did was what I asked her to do. Suggestive sell a product. She got a bonus. I got a bonus. Everybody was happy. But it comes down to they have to have a motivation. They have to have some reason to do the job beyond just making that wage. Because like I said, the time's going to pass, whether they wait on 100 people or they wait on one. But when they have an incentive to gamify the work, they get excited because we want more people to come in. Hey, how can we get on social media and get more people coming in so I have a chance to make more money? There are all kinds of things you can do with gamification. It doesn't have to be that cut and dried. And it doesn't have to be locked into a cashier. You can do the same things for your employees in the kitchen, in the waste. Let's not have a lot of waste. I'm going to give you a bonus based on reducing the amount of waste that we have. Because if they reduce the amount of waste, you're making more money. Share that money. The very first employee I hired as my own employee, not somebody working for me at Burger King or Wendy's or Rax. First employee, her name was Elizabeth. She was an outstanding cashier, did anything that you could possibly want her to do in the restaurant. She knew how to do it all. So when I got a hot dog cart, she was the first person I thought of to come work for me. She could still work her other job at Rax, but she could also come help me do the hot dog cart, and she could run one by herself. So her level up, her power up, and what we called it back then was, here's a bonus. I'm going to pay you, and back then I was paying her like $8 an hour because minimum wage was 5 something back then. I'm going to pay you $8 an hour. And if you can do this with the food cost on this hot dog cart, and the hot dog cart is not hard to run food cost on, I'm going to give you a little bit more money. And if you're able to do this sales goal that I have, I'm going to give you a little bit more money. She ended up making well over $20 an hour in the late 80s, early 90s, running a hot dog cart because she had motivation that was tied to the more I work, the more money I make. Kind of like you with your ownership of a food truck. The harder you work, the more money you're going to make. Or you can just sit back and wonder why you're not busy at all. You know, the choice is yours. But do things to get your employees excited, because when they're excited, they're going to raise sales for you. And when your sales go up, you get to make more money. Or you can just have boring employees. It's up to you. Employees like recognition. So if you're going to do the gamification of the job, besides money, you can give them recognition. You can give them little pins. When we worked at Shoney's, we used to do little pins that were representative of different things that the servers could do. If they sold a certain amount of desserts, or they were the number one seller of desserts for a particular week, they got a pin. If they had the highest check average, they got a pin. If they had the highest total sales, they got a pin. We had different pins for different systems that we wanted to reward them for. And they became a little collector thing for the employees. They wanted to get those pins. They wanted that recognition. An engraved name tag. When I worked for Rax Restaurants in the late 70s, early 80s, one of their ways to recognize an employee was to give them an engraved name tag on their first year anniversary. And it was a big deal because we had an engraved name tag, not one of those that had the little dynamo embossed sticker that was on the name tag that would peel off half the time. And people would start that conversation. Go to Disney World, look at their employees' name tags. It'll not only have their name, but it'll say where they're from. So it starts a conversation. Now, it's not just a boring employee. It's somebody that's being asked, hey, I'm from that same state. I'm from that same city. That's why they do it, to start a conversation, which takes you out of being boring, selling a burger, to, hey, I used to live in that town. Do you remember? You can offer the team an opportunity to win a pizza party or some other outing where you get together and you take them out bowling, playing pickleball, whatever you want to do. It gives them something to do as a team, but it's not selling food. It's being excited about their work. To set the goal to where it makes financial sense for your business. And then when they hit that goal, guess what? You made a bunch more money. They deserve the recognition. They deserve the little perk or that power up that you're giving them for having done what you asked them to do. Now, how does this pertain to customers, to your guests? How can you get more guests? By gamifying their purchases. You create those power ups. If you remember Pac-Man, he would gobble, gobble, gobble those little dots. And around the map, there was a couple of power-ups. So as he's gobbling these dots, he's heading towards those power-ups. You do the same thing with your loyalty program. You think about it, loyalty program is a gamification. You buy so many of this certain thing, your Pac-Man gobbling up so many little dots, and then you get a free something. Just make it easier. Make the levels to where they want to go higher and make more and get more. If you do a coffee truck, 5 coffees, you get 1 free. That's simple. But how about if you did 5 coffees with a double shot, you get something even bigger and better. So buying 5 of something and getting 1 free, or buying 10 of something and getting 1 free, is what everybody does. But how about if you buy 5 of something or 7 of something, you get something even bigger? Come to my hot dog cart, or I'll sell you 7 hot dogs. When you've bought that 7th one, you have now earned yourself a full hot dog meal. You've earned the hot dog, you've earned the chip, you've earned the drink. Do it on a burger truck. Come in and buy 5 burgers. Come in and buy 7 burgers. And then I'm going to give you a full meal with a dessert and a drink. How awesome is that? So now they're working towards a big reward. You're gamifying it. I cannot stress how important it is to have some type of electronic loyalty system that will track this stuff for you. So that as a guest comes up and they say, yeah, I've got the loyalty program. Here's my phone number. And you enter it in. You can say, hey, you are almost at that next level. Let's level you up today. Let's get you that next big reward. It's all about rewarding your people. You can make the job boring. You certainly can. Just pay them, $20 an hour and hope you get good results. Or you can make the work challenging. You can make the work fun, and you can make more money. Figure out how you can gamify your work. It definitely will make it more interesting for you and way more interesting for your employees. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.